Data review. So today we're going to review on all of the concepts that we learned last week and this week. Number 1, the dot plot shows the number of push-ups completed by a group of students during gym class. What is the range of this dot plot? So we know that range means that the largest number subtracted by the smallest number. And in this case, we have 35 and 30. So we're going to subtract those two to get the range. 35 minus 30 equals 5. So 5 would be the range. B, what is the mode of the dot plot? The mode means that it is the number with the greatest frequency or the greatest amount that is shown on the dot plot. So in this case, the number of dots would tell us what the mode would be. And we know that there are 5 dots for number 35. So we know that 35 push-ups would be the mode for this graph. C, what is the median of the dot plot? So median means it's the middle number, but we have a lot of dots that represent each number. So we're not looking at the number line, we have to look at the dots. So we have to list it. We have one number that's 30 push-ups, 31, there's only one of them, and there are 4 32s. So we have to put 4 of the 32s. And I'm listing it out so that we can find our median. And then there are 2 33s. And then there's 1 34. And then we have 5 35s. Okay, so now we have the list of numbers. Now we can start crossing them out. So I'm going to cross out from the least and the greatest in order. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, and we're left with 33 and 33 as our middle number. So because there are 2 numbers that are in the middle, we have to find the number that is right in between 33 and 33. And because they are the same number, we know that the middle number can't be anything but the number itself. So we know that 33 is going to be our median. So 33 is the median for this dot plot. Number 2, answer each question below using the box plot. So it says, what is the median of this box plot that is regarding the 6th grade math test? So I'm going to look at the median for this box plot. It's that middle line inside our box, which represents our median. So it says that's at 85. B, what is the estimated range of this box plot? So range means the biggest number minus the smallest number. I'm going to estimate it. So the max number right there is about 98, I would say. And it's okay if you wrote 99 or 97. So as long as you're close, minus the smallest number would be around, I would say 68 or 69. So I'm going to say 68. And if you subtract those 2 numbers together, it would give you 30. So if you put 30, 31, or 29, anything close to 30, it should be correct. Number 2C, what is the estimated interquartile range? So interquartile range is when you are looking at the box itself in the box plot, and now you're going to look at the last box and the smallest one, or the least number from the box, and that is around 93, I would say, or 94. And then that other first box line would be at 79-ish, and that would be the interquartile range. So if you subtract those 2 numbers together, that would give you about 14. So if you got 14 or 15 or 13, should be correct. Number 3, the box plot to the right shows the data collected for the number of ice cream cones sold each hour at an ice cream shop. A, what is the median of the data? So median means the middle number, and luckily box plots show that the median is right there, and it's exactly at 22. B, what is the range of the data? Range is the largest number minus the smallest number. So we know that 28 is the largest, 16 is the smallest. So we just need to subtract those 2 together. 28 minus 16, that gives you 12. C, what is the interquartile range? So we know that the interquartile range is inside the box. So that line right there and this line right here, if you subtract it together, 26 minus 18 should give you the interquartile range, which should be 8. Number 4, the bar graph shows the number of buses manufactured each month. What is the mode of the data? So mode means the largest amount in the bar graph, which is around July and August. They are exactly the same, and I know that that is around 1800. So instead of putting the number, I need to put the months. So you can put July and August. B, what is the range of the data? So I'm going to put the range by looking at this bar graph. The largest number would be 18 right there. And then the smallest number around 600. So if you subtract the two numbers together, 1800 minus 600 should give you 1200 for the range. Number 5, the box and whisker graph, also known as the box plot, shows information about the heights in inches of the members of Jeff's basketball team. Which statement about the box plot must be true? So we know that we have to look at each choice for this multiple choice answer. Or letter A, the first quartile is at 67. Well, I know that the first quartile is the line that is given as your first box right there, and it's at 68. So no, it can't be 67. So A is not true. B, the range of the data is 10. Well, I know that the biggest number right there is right there, but we need to figure out what number that would be. And it looks like we're going in intervals from 76 to 80. And each line represents 1 unit, because if you count it, it's 76, 77, 78, 79, 80. So I know it's just going by ones. And if that line is right there, it should be 77. And then you have to subtract it by the smallest number, which is right here. And right one below 68 would be 67. And if you subtract those two together, it is 10. So B is correct, but I'm going to make sure B is the only one that's correct. Letter C says the interquartile range is 8. So I'm going to look at the box to get the interquartile range, and the largest number in the box would be 75. And then I know that the smallest number inside the box is 68. If you subtract those two together, it would be 7. So it is not 8. So C is definitely not true. D, the median is 72. Well, I know that the median is the line inside the box, and I know that's not 72, it's 71. So B is the correct answer. 6, which statement is true based on the dot plot below? A, the most common number of metals won was 14. So if you look at 14, it only has one dot above it, or an X above it. So we know that is definitely not true. So A is not true. B, the number of people who won between 1 to 4 medals is greater than the number of people who won over 9 medals. So over 9 medals mean more than 9 medals. So we're going to see how many people had 1 and 4 medals, and that would be this number right here, which is 4. And then this number right here, which is 2. So 4 plus 2 equals 6. So 6 is greater than the number of people who won over 9 medals. So let's count the ones that are over 9. That's 1, and then another one. That's just 2. So 6 is greater than 2. That is true. So B is correct. Let's check the other ones. C, the median number of medals won is 5. So median is 5. We need to figure out how to do this. I'm not going to list the numbers out because there's just too many. So instead, I'm going to use the dots. And in order to use the dots, we're going to just cross it out using our pencils. So I'm going to do 1, and we need to do least and greatest numbers. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we're left with 2 numbers, 3 and 4. So that's telling you it's the middle number in between 3 and 4, because we did not end up with one number. So we don't have a middle number right away. We have two numbers and we have to find the middle number of those two numbers. And in the middle of 3 and 4 would be 3.5, and that is nowhere near 5. So we definitely see that C is not true. The range of the metal is 13. So the largest number that we have on this dot plot is 14 that has a dot, minus the smallest number that has a dot would be 0. So if you subtract those two numbers together, the range would be 14, not 13. So B would be the correct answer. Number 7, the amount of rain in inches that Chicago received during each week in the past 4 months is shown in the box plot. Which statement about the data in the box plot is not true? So A, the median amount of rain Chicago received during this time was 10 inches. So median means it's the line inside the box, and it seems like it is in 10. So it is true, and we're looking for the one that is not true. So A is not correct because this is true. B, the first quartile of the data is at 7 inches of rain. So if the first quartile is the first line in the box, and it looks like it's right in between 6 and 8, it is actually 7. So this is true. So it is not B. C, the maximum number of rain Chicago received in a week was 18 inches. Maximum is that last line the box plot goes up to, and it is at 18, so it is true, so it's not the correct answer. D, the IQR, which stands for interquartile range of this data, is 15 inches. Well, the last line in that box is at 13. If you subtract 13 minus 7, that gives you 6, so it is not 15, so our answer should be D.